We're here today for this announcement. Please welcome the Honourable Stockwell Day.
Thank you so much for your words, Andrew, ladies and gentlemen, for the warm welcome. I can tell you this is an exciting day, exciting announcement, and it involves a whole lot of people working together and staying focused and believing that something could happen that was important. I want to say that, Premier, it's been so good and exciting working with you, working with Kevin Falcon and other members of your government, your cabinet and MLAs. You've really shown and demonstrated that working collaboratively and cooperatively really gets things done. The announcement today is part of that. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that as at the federal level, we have made a number of announcements regarding specifically infrastructure projects to deal with, partly to deal with the fact that we are in this time of a global downturn, and there are fiscal realities that we are facing. We've done a couple of things at the federal level. We've taken a $33 billion commitment nationwide on a Building Canada fund that was supposed to extend over 7 years. We've added to that in our most recent economic comprehensive action statement another $4 billion committed to infrastructure projects. We've compressed those. We've worked with the province and with municipalities in terms of getting rid of redundant and overlapping layers of regulation and unnecessary red tape. We've looked at what is necessary, of course, on the environmental side and on the regulatory and safety side, but we said, you know what, we don't have to keep repeating triple layers, sometimes taking years to get projects announced. That alone, Premier, what you and Kevin and others have done to assist us, that's going to remain forever in terms of streamlining government and getting programs delivered to people. There's a new terminology that's now been entered into our lexicon, and it's the word, or two words, some people think it's all one word, called shovel-ready. And it affects everything we do now. We don't even take an invitation for lunch unless we say, is it shovel-ready? But it really has become a driving force because, number one, these are projects that are absolutely necessary. And number two, by compressing the timelines, we're able to have an impact on the employment scene, on the investment scene right now when we need things most in this time of global financial challenge that we're in. So we're very excited to be able to announce that following extensive studies resulting in a North Shore study and everything that is involved with that, to announce today that the North Shore Study projects, 5 different projects, in conjunction with the City of North Van and District of North Van and West Van and our Aboriginal nations and a whole lot of other groups, we are announcing these studies, or announcing the projects going ahead. The total cost of these projects is $225 million. That's almost $250 million. The federal government is pleased to announce $75 million to get these projects. This is part of the federal commitment to make sure that when we talk about an Asia-Pacific gateway, it is real. And we've committed the total cost of the projects that have been announced to make sure we have a streamlined, integrated port to road to rail system that we can send a message to those who are shipping from Asia and other parts of the world to this part of the world that we have increased the ability, the time for people to get their products from Asia to either Port of Vancouver and then onto integrated rail lines down into Chicago and Memphis in less than 100 hours. We can tell our Asian partners and competitors who are shipping to this part of the world that we can save them anywhere from 3 to 7 days depending on the line of traffic they're choosing. And it's all part of reducing congestion, reducing traffic, making the lines more integrated. The North Shore projects alone represent about 35% of all of that trade that comes through from the Asia Pacific. So we're very excited about this, Premier, Kevin, municipalities that are represented. Thank you so much for everybody in playing a very vital role in making this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. And before I introduce our next speaker, I'd just like to point out some people that we have with us today. We have the Mayor of the District of North Vancouver, Richard Walton. We've also got representing the City of North Vancouver, Craig Keating. And we have the Chair of Port Metro Vancouver, Sarah Morgan Sylvester. Welcome this morning. The Premier will introduce our MLAs that are here. I would now like to introduce the Premier of British Columbia, the Honourable Gordon Campbell. The Premier has done much for this province and has been a strong advocate. He has worked very hard and has been an incredible partner with our federal government in cooperation. Since taking office, the Premier has worked hard to help spur growth and investment opportunities for our province. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Honourable Gordon Campbell.
First, I want to say it's a real pleasure. We had a very big day today. Minister Day and I took the first trip on the Canada Line, which is about moving people from Waterfront Station to Richmond and to YVR. I was there with Minister Falcon today. You should all know this. Public-private partnership, $2 billion, opening 3 months early on Labor Day. Back there, thank you for your dollars, Larry. That was very good. This today is about a partnership as well. It's a partnership that is going to open our province and our country up to the fastest growing economies in the world, in Asia. And many of you in this room have been talking about the Asia Pacific Gateway for some time. We've been acting on the Asia Pacific Gateway for a number of years now. And I just want to say, Minister, that the work that you've done on behalf of all of us in Ottawa and Andrew and the caucus has been critically important, because sometimes it's difficult for them in Ottawa to understand how important British Columbia is. So it's good to have a group of people that are there that are reminding them that we are Canada's only Pacific province. Others may want to be British Columbia, but we're the only British Columbia that I know of. And I can tell you, and I know Minister Day would say this as well, the federal MPs are very strong advocates on our behalf, and as Andrew said, our MLAs are very strong advocates on our behalf. And whether it's Joan McIntyre, who's here with us today from West Vancouver, Garibaldi, whether it's Catherine Wichard, who's here from North Vancouver, Lonsdale, Ralph Sultan, who's here from West Van Capilano, or Dan Jarvis, who is not with us today, but he's recovering from some surgery in North Vancouver, Seymour. They have never lost sight of the opportunities that our Pacific Gateway presents to their communities, to their economies, to their workers. 31,000 people are at work today on the terminals across the North Shore of Vancouver. It is Canada's probably most important bulk and break bulk terminal that we have. With the investments that we're announcing today, 5 specific projects on the North Shore, we improve the movement of goods. So as cargo comes to the west coast of North America through Canada's Pacific Gateway, it's 2 days closer in Vancouver and Prince Rupert than it is in any other port on the western coast of North America. We have an opportunity to expand throughput and productivity, and we can only do that because of the partnership of the federal government, Metroport, and of course the private sector. $225 million to do these 5 projects. Just to give you an idea, the projects include the Brooksbank Avenue Underpass, the Neptune Cargill grade separation, realigning and elevating the low-level road, the Pemberton Avenue grade separation, and the western low-level route extension to Marine Drive. It will move goods, it will make it safer, it will make it more productive, and it will improve our gateway. Our gateway in British Columbia is as important to Canada in the 21st century as the St. Lawrence Seaway was to Canada in the 20th century. 255,000 jobs in British Columbia alone. $230 billion of economic activity for Canada. Right now, we're going through a challenging time. Minister Day has pointed out we're trying to get people to work, and we're trying to put them to work building the infrastructure we need so we come out of these difficult times stronger than ever. Because of your commitment, Minister Day, because of the federal government's commitment to our Gateway project, the province's $62 million, the private sector's contributions, the port's contributions, we are